guys, it's Elena. Welcome back to my channel. So this week I wanted to make placemats. I know that's maybe not the most exciting thing, but I really wanted to make them look cute and personalized to me and my style. So of course, I picked a gingham. And it turned out really super cute. This is great for beginners, so I'm going to walk you through all the steps and you can make them for yourself. So to get started, I wanted to make 8 reversible placemats. So I got 2 yards of fabric A, which was my purple gingham, 2 yards of fabric B, which is my yellow gingham, and then 3 1/4 yards of interfacing, which will go on each placemat. So before I started cutting and doing anything, I first ironed my fabric after washing it. This part is really important because you really want everything to be straight and crisp, and there's not tons of room for error, so that part really helps. And then this step is a little bit optional, but I am doing gingham, and because of that, I really wanted my lines to match up with the lines and the stripes on the gingham. And so what I did was I folded my fabric in half lengthwise, and then I went ahead and cut it in half. That way that I could cut out each placemat individually. But if you don't have gingham fabric or stripes or anything like that, and your fabric is less directional, you can go ahead and keep it folded and head to the next step, which is to cut off the edge of your fabric so you have a clean, straight slate, and then you can go ahead and start cutting out each and every one of your placemats. We want our placemats to be 14 by 20 inches, and that will get you a really nice standard size. You can always change that, make it bigger or smaller, but this is really what worked for me, and I'm really happy with how the size turned out. So I first am starting by cutting out all 8 of each fabric lengthwise, and then I'm going and cutting off to make sure that the width is correct. So it's really important that you do this really carefully and you are really particular. In my case, I was extra particular because I was trying to match up with my gingham stripes, but make sure that you're doing this for every single placemat piece. So you will have 8 front pieces and 8 back pieces in total. Once you have cut out all 16 pieces, you're going to start cutting out your interfacing. You need 1 piece of interfacing for each placemat, and you want it to be 20 inches by 14 inches to match your placemat dimensions. So I'm just lining up 1 piece of my placemat, fabric A, and laying it on top of my interfacing, cutting it to the correct size, and then fusing it together with my iron. Make sure you get it really nice and fused on there because you don't want it to bubble up or peel away in the future. Once you have done that, you can put fabric B right sides together onto your fabric A, so the interfacing will be on the outside. Make sure it's all lined up, your corners look really good and crisp, and then you can go ahead and pin all around and then sew all around. It is really important that you leave a small little chunk open so that you can turn your placemat right side out once you are done sewing all the way around. Just a side tip, when you do sew all around, make sure that you are doing a really nice pivoted corner. So you'll come to the corner, leave your needle down, lift your presser foot, turn, lower your presser foot, and then continue sewing on. Once you've gone all the way around your placemat and you only have the little opening left, before you turn it right sides out, you are going to clip all of your corners so that you can get nice and crisp corners. So you're going to basically just trim off that little triangle, but make sure you don't accidentally clip your stitch. And then once you've done all 4 corners, you can turn your placemat right sides out. Make sure that you get those corners really crisp. You can use a chopstick or another point turner. And then it's really important that you iron at this step and make sure that everything is closed and even and there's no puckers or wrinkles or anything like that. This is the step also where you're going to fold your opening closed and make sure that everything is nice and even before you go to pin, and then you can start to sew all the way around. Now that I have pinned, I am just going to sew all the way around and do a nice clean top stitch. It's really important that you pick a thread that will be good and match with both sides of your fabric. And I also found it really important as well to continue and do a pivot at each corner. Just another tip, if you look at my presser foot, it looks kind of weird. This is a walking presser foot, and I found that this was extremely helpful when doing this sewing. It really made things sit a lot more smoothly and evenly, so I highly recommend it. But if you don't have a walking foot, it totally works without one. Just make sure that you go slow and put plenty of pins so that nothing is wrinkling or puckering and it all sits nice and smooth. Here is the finished corner, and here is the finished placemats. I think that they look so good. I'm really happy with how they turned out. I think they look so professional, and it's definitely something that I would purchase from a store. But now whenever I have guests over, I can tell them that I made them, and that's like my favorite part. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please let me know if you did enjoy it, and let me know if you have any other suggestions of things for me to make. See you next time.